everybody, today is January 11th, 2014. I just heard about this from one of my bloggers. I can't read everything that's posted. Shoot, I have like almost 10,000 subscribers. This should be all across the national news, and it's not. It's been declared a state of emergency by President Obama and FEMA. So why the National Guard is not going door to door to warn people not to use the water is beyond me. On the third day without clean tap water, business owners with empty dining rooms and quiet aisles of merchandise around West Virginia capitals were left to wonder how much of an economic hit they'll take from a chemical spill. Most visitors have cleared out of Charleston, while locals are either staying home or driving out of the area to find somewhere they can get a hot meal or a shower. Orders not to use tap water for much other than flushing toilets means that the spill is an emergency, not just for the environment, but also for local businesses. A water company executive said Saturday that it could be days before uncontaminated water is flowing again for about 300,000 people in 9 West Virginia counties. The uncertainty means it's impossible to estimate the economic impact of the spill yet, said the leader of the local Chamber of Commerce. Virtually every restaurant was closed Saturday, unable to use water to prepare food. You're not allowed to wash dishes with it or clean your hands. Meanwhile, hotels had emptied and foot traffic was down at many retail stores. Everything that uses water, bars, restaurants, hotels, laundromats, etc., they're all shut down because you're not allowed to use the water. At Charleston's Yeager Airport, a combined 7 inbound and outbound flights were canceled. The reason for the cancellation was an agreement between the airlines and unions for flight crews and pilot that hotels meet a certain threshold of service, and the lack of water violates that agreement. Arrangements were being made to house flight personnel in hotels about 40 miles away. The emergency began Thursday when complaints came to West Virginia American Water about a licorice-type odor in the tap water. The source, the chemical 4-methylcyclisine methanol, that leaked out of a 40,000-gallon tank at a Freedom Industry facility along the Elk River. Now, this is evidently just above where the water treatment plant is for the 300,000 people. State officials said Saturday they believed about 7,500 gallons leaked from the tank, boosting their estimate by more than 2,000 gallons from the previous day. Some of the chemical was contained before flowing into the river. It's not clear exactly how much entered the water supply. It could take days for tap water to flow again. First water sample test results must consistently show that the chemical presence in the public water system is at or below 1 part per million, the level recommended by federal agencies. West Virginia American Water President Jeff McIntyre said Saturday at a news conference. 32 people sought treatment at area hospitals for symptoms such as nausea, but there's other symptoms. This stuff is evidently highly flammable. It causes dizziness, drowsiness. Definitely not get it on your skin, and if you get it on your clothes, you're supposed to remove the clothing. It's evidently a heavy type gas also in it. Also, the fumes from this stuff like to travel along the ground. Right here it says the vapor is heavier than air and may travel along the ground a good distance, and ignition is possible as a result of the flow. Substance irritates the eyes and skin. Swallowing the liquid may cause aspiration into the lungs with the result of chemical pneumonia. Substance may cause effects on the central nervous system. Exposure could cause a lowering of consciousness. Long-term effects, it says here, liquid defats the skin. So, 32 people sought treatment at the area hospitals. Of those, 4 people were admitted to the Charleston Area Medical Center, but the conditions were not available as of Saturday. Federal authorities, including the U.S. Chemical Safety Board, opened an investigation into Thursday's spill. By Saturday morning, FEMA said it had delivered about 50 truckloads of water, or 1 million liters, to West Virginia for distribution at sites including fire departments. The New York Times has an article about it in images. Schools were also closed, and traffic snarled as drivers waited to fill drugs from tankers delivered by the National Guard. The governor, who ordered the ban on drinking, bathing, and cooking with the tap water in the capital city of Charleston and the surrounding community, has called on people not to panic. This chemical is evidently used in the processing of coal. The mayor and everyone else said their greatest worry is that no one in authority would say how long it would be before water supply was usable again. Here's an image. It says on Thursday a worker placed a boom in the Elk River at the site of the chemical leak. Another image from a store, Kroger's in South Charleston, all the empty shelves. And here's an interesting fact about the fumes. The State Department of Environmental Protection issued on Friday a violation notice to the company for a release of this chemical into the air, and it ordered all tanks on the site to be emptied and the chemicals moved off-site. Evidently, local residents complained about the smell, and they contacted the Environmental Protection Department, who then went to the site and said it was discovered by his inspectors at 11:10 a.m. in response from complaints from residents about the odor. And when the inspectors arrived at the plant, they saw chemicals leaching through a containment dike, and no cleanup at that time was even underway. Supposedly it has low toxicity, if you want to believe that, and if you look at the technical data available, they say it has no effect on aquatic life. I doubt that. And of course, a lot of people are very angry. They're losing work, they're losing business. They want to know why this company is upstream from the water company. Another thing it says here is chemical danger reacts violently with strong oxygens, causing fire and explosion hazard, and is a risk to pregnant women. I'll give you a link to this page and a link to the other articles as well. This is why you should always have bottled water on hand. I would suggest at least a week's worth, if not longer, if you can find a place to store it. So you think about water that these animals need. What about the horses that are used for the carriages? What about, isn't there a zoo there and an aquarium? Alright, well, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.